Cloud Gaming X. Respect the tech, salute the gamers. Welcome to the Cloud Gaming X channel.
What's up, fellas? Welcome to the Cloud Gaming X channel. So today we are going to be taking a look at a reaction video by a guy named MetalJesusRocks. Now this guy has over 101,000 views in this video that just aired about 14 hours ago. Now this is madness, right? Again, we know these state haters, when you talk negative about Stadia, you freaking get views, bro. So why not do it, right? I'm also going to be working on another video showcasing the difference of people who talk positively about Stadia and the difference between people who talk negatively about Stadia, and compare the difference to see who does better, who does well. All right. So again, guys, just to let you guys know, this weekend I'm going to be going to PAX West, and I'm going to be going to the Stadia booth, and I'm going to be playing Stadia myself and doing some recording. Sorry about that noise. And so if you're interested in that, I'm going to try to do some interviews too with some of the Google Stadia team members. So if you're interested, definitely subscribe and stay tuned for this weekend for more content. All right, enough talking. Let's go. Here we go. MetalJesusRocks.
Hey guys, MetalJesus here. Now I've had a lot of people ask me what my opinion is of Google Stadia, because as you guys know, I'm a big fan of collecting physical media.
That's an issue. We all know the collectors and how already from the get-go they don't like Stadia, but let's keep that moving.
Physical games, that's what my game collection and my channel is all about. And so to research this, I was like, well,
alright, sorry, but if you are a collector, we already know this, right? That's what he just stated, that's what his channel's all about. So already we know this is not going to go well, correct? Okay, let's keep going though.
Maybe I should get it just so I can talk about it on my channel. And to my surprise, I couldn't really use it even if I wanted to. And I think a lot of you are going to be in the same boat as me. And so I thought I would do this video to kind of talk about it, because it's going to be a bit of a problem for a lot of us. But before we get into that, let's talk about what Google Stadia is if you're not familiar with it. So Google Stadia is a online cloud-based gaming service that Google is going to launch, I believe, next year. And right now you can
Clearly he does not know what the hell he's talking about. He just said Google Stadia is going to launch next year. What does it say right here, fellas? Stadia arrives this November. And okay, he doesn't know. So personally, I think he's making this video because it's getting views. He knows if he talks about this in negative light, he'll get views. Homeboy does not even know what the heck he's talking about. It launches next year and boom, it stays right here when it comes out. Anyway, let's keep moving.
You can join in on it, and I think you can get access to the beta or something like that. So get early access and maybe get a fancy control.
I think you can join it. Sorry for pausing. This guy's already off. Like, listen to what he says here. What?
You can join in on it, and I think you can get access to the beta or something like that. So get early access and maybe get a fancy controller to go with.
Not next year, dude. This year. This year. And it's not a beta. It's called the Founders Pack. This guy, we already know where this video is going. Clearly, this guy has no idea what the hell he's talking about. This is crazy. It's madness.
With it, but the idea here being is that you don't have to have a PC, like a high-end gaming machine. You don't have to have the latest gaming console. Essentially, if you have a device that can run the Chrome browser, then you can use Google's servers in the cloud to basically do all the processing of games and then send it down to your browser. And in theory, actually, it's kind of an interesting concept. I mean, it's not a new concept. Other services have done this, but essentially what they're trying to do is basically make it so you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on hardware, just use whatever you've got. And it has some really interesting features, like the ability to, you could start playing a game on your TV, and then walk over to your phone, and then continue right where you left off, go over to your iPad, go over to your laptop, any device that basically can run Chrome. It also has some really interesting features where it's going to have streaming built into it, which I think a lot of people would probably use. But that's it.
It's going to have streaming built into it, which some people might actually use. Alright, I'm just gonna let that sit in with you guys for a second. You guys tell me if this guy actually knows what I'm not gonna swear, but what the heck he's talking about, right? What? Dudes, don't make this video. Don't make this video. You clearly don't know what you're talking about, bro. Wow.
In a nutshell, essentially that it's designed to offload all of the hardcore processing onto Google servers, and then they would just send it to every device that runs Chrome that you have. Now, the thing I was surprised to learn, and maybe I should have known this all along, but it just didn't register, I didn't really think about it too deeply at the time, was all of that high-end gaming data is going to be coming down from Google and essentially just suck up all of your bandwidth that you have available in your house, either to your computer or your cell phone. I was really shocked about this. So
it's gonna suck up all of your bandwidth. I mean, suck it up. Everything. So sucking it up means you won't be able to do anything but just only Google Stadia, because it's gonna suck up all your bandwidth. Wow.
So I was doing some research and I landed on a site, businessinsider.com, and they kind of broke it down. And basically what they were saying is that if you stream a game at 4K, with everything kind of turned on, it's essentially going to use about 16 gigabytes, about 15.7.
Okay, so Phil Harrison has cleared this up. It's been cleared in the AMA that this statistic is not accurate. This is just someone calculating numbers, and it's not actually true. So if you've watched the AMAs, if you've listened to the Phil Harrison interviews, you'll know you're basing your fact on this false information. But again, you don't know anything about Stadia, because if you did, you would know this. If you did, you would have done the good research. This is old news, bro. But let's keep moving.
5, I think is what they said, per hour. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but trust me, it is, because I immediately went to my internet provider in my house and I was like, well, how much bandwidth am I using? Honestly, I don't really track this. So I logged into the back end of their site, and I was looking at my bandwidth, and you are seeing it on the screen here. And I was shocked to learn that there are some months where I'm basically pushing, over 700 gigabytes of data in a plan that basically has 1 terabyte maximum. And just so you guys know, I don't have any other services other than internet. So I don't have any television services, I don't have basic cable or anything like that. It's just internet. And this usage you're seeing right here is actually, it's just Netflix, Hulu, probably YouTube, and maybe a little bit of HBO or something like that. I never play multiplayer games because I just don't have time to do it. So this, what you're seeing right here, is just kind of my basic
Bro, if you don't play games and all you do is stream, first of all, right? It's not all for streaming because it's a collector, right? But yet, it sounds like he doesn't have any physical DVDs, right? It sounds like all he does is stream HBO, Netflix, Hulu, right? But yet, he has an issue with Stadia being all digital. Anyway, that's another story, subject for another day. But bro, if this is your data situation without even playing online games, then I would say you watch way too much TV or YouTube videos. You're using almost 740 gigs just streaming video content. I think you need to do more than just, this 750, it's a lot for just streaming content. Maybe as a YouTuber, yeah, if you but my goodness, this is not even including games. But anyway, maybe Stadia is not for you. Just being real, right? But let's keep going.
Internet usage in my home, plus the streaming services that we watch. But I was looking at that going, well, that doesn't leave very much for Google Stadia. I mean, I did the math, and so some of these months I had basically like 270 gigabytes left over. Well, if you divide that by 16, it only leaves about 17 or 18 hours per month to use their service. So that means essentially that every other day I could use Google Stadia for 1 hour. I wouldn't even be able to use it every day, right? It'd be like an hour every once in a while is all I could fit into this. And by the way, if you look down on the bottom of the screen there, it says that I'm only allowed to go over that maximum twice. And then they'll start basically penalizing me, which I was like, oh man, it's crazy. And also too, guys, I live in Seattle. So we are a tech city. And by the way, I actually this is not even basic internet. I actually pay a little bit per month to double the speed of my internet because I do a lot of YouTube, both uploads and downloads. So yeah, it's like, I mean, I guess I could pay for more bandwidth, but why would I do that? I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Okay, just being real. This is not for you, and if it was, you would pay. My dude, you're already paying to increase your data speed because YouTube's important to you, right? Uploading your videos is important and fast rate. You want to do it. Pay for it. You want to be able to do that, right? So to me, you guys saw the video I made, right? I had to up my data cap to unlimited because, again, Stadia is important to me. Stadia might not be for you. Straight up, it might not be for you. But that's okay. But what was this thumbnail? Okay, Claire, he states that in his thumbnail, so respect isn't for him. Here's why. Okay, I respect that. It's not for you. Makes sense. Okay, good.
I also got to thinking about my cell phone plan, and again, one of the main benefits of Stadia is that you can be at home, you can be playing your game, and then you can be at the doctor's office and you can hop on your phone and potentially pick up right where you left off, which is cool in theory. But there are many months when I actually hit the maximum data plan of my cell phone. My wife and I share it, and especially if we go out of town, if we go traveling anywhere, where we're using our cell phone a lot and we're not necessarily on local Wi-Fi, we get really close. If not, sometimes we actually have to pay a little bit more.
6.71 gigabytes. You and your wife shared this, and this is all you guys have, bro. I don't know how much you pay for your mobile service. Again, I'm not trying to bash you, but that is very little. This service called Straight Talk, right? You pay about $35 a month to get unlimited. I'm just trying to help you out in case if you ever watch this video, because that's very little, and it's very concerning that you and your wife shared that, and all you guys, again, 6.71 gigs. But Straight Talk, no sponsor in this video, just telling you from experience, right? You get 25 gigs data for $35 a month. You get unlimited text, limited phone call, 25 gigs, $35 a month. It's really, really cheap, really for it. Again, I'm not bashing you, just trying to help you out. All right, let's keep going.
So again, it's like I wouldn't be able to use this because it's going to be using so much bandwidth all the time. Now, I know some of you are saying, give it a rest. It's like online only, digital only is the future. It's inevitable. It's coming. And yeah, I agree. It's definitely, very popular on PC. Obviously, a lot of people love Steam and have been using it successfully for years. However, I would remind you, though, that, online digital only is very different than streaming, right? So you're not actually going to be running that game on your computer with Stadia. It's going to be on Google's server. And with Steam, you do download that. And another thing is that people kind of forget is that you can actually back up your Steam games right through the menu. It's an option there. So you technically could, I don't think very many people remember to do this or do it that often, but
This is a good point. Good point right here. He is making sense as to where Steam, right? It's not a streaming service. It's a digital store. By the way, Stadia is going to have their own digital store, but the difference is you actually download this to your hardware compared to streaming it. So pretty accurate.
You can actually go and you can actually back up your games to your hard drive. You can burn a DVD. You can put them on an SD card and, you know, put them in a drawer and essentially archive them. And again, with streaming, you're not going to really have that. And here's another thing too that kind of worries me about all that is that I don't know if I really trust Google to be in it for the long game here, because Google does have a history of starting projects, trying them out, and then kind of shutting them down, you know, and that's no slam against them. It's just that for whatever reason they didn't work out, and you know they took them away. I mean, people remember Google Base, Google Plus, Picasa was an app that they used to have, and probably rolled it into something else. But you know, they've got a history of launching things, seeing if it works, and then if it doesn't, they kill it off. And it wouldn't surprise me if this doesn't work out. Those games that you buy to run in the cloud may be gone forever. And speaking of gone forever, we just recently went through this with DuckTales Remastered. So that is a remake of a classic.
So this point that he's making, again, I swear it feels like these people are getting paid to speak. So this point that he's making, number one, is either he watched Spawnway's video because he talked about the same exact issue about, you guys saw the video I did reacting to that when he came out saying, you know, his issue with Stadia is the fact the same thing. Google might shut down, you might lose your games, and he mentioned this specific game. So either you've watched previous Stadia videos, you've seen how well they've done, and then, you know, you want to copy that. But this is word for word what Spawnway said, and he is talking about the same exact game. If he spoke about something different, like I can hear that, but don't copy what someone has already said. Either one, you guys are getting paid to say the same thing, or two, you are just copying other YouTubers who have talked negatively about Stadia.
NES game that a lot of people love. It came out digitally on the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, and probably some other stuff, but essentially it got delisted recently. And so a lot of people were scrambling for the few physical copies that were able to be found in the wild. And if you've been on social media lately, you've seen that a lot of people have been, you know, showing that, yes, I found a copy of this. And, you know, because again, people were scrambling, they liked the game, they wanted a physical version of it. And I think about that a lot, because there was an Outrun game, I'm trying to remember if it came out on the original Xbox or the Xbox 360, that got delisted as well. I think they lost the license to Ferrari, and so they can no longer sell the digital version. So people are scrambling to get the physical. I always think of one of my all-time favorite Xbox 360 games, and that is Hydro Thunder Hurricane, which is a fantastic arcade racing game that came out on the Xbox 360. That never got a physical release here in the US. I maybe got one overseas, I don't know. It should have, because it's such a great game. Now, thankfully, Microsoft has made that backwards compatible with the Xbox One, so you can download and play it there, which is great. But who knows how long it's going to be there? I mean,
you guys know why I'm pausing. Did you just hear what he said? I'm going to rewind that and let you guys listen to this again. Listen to this, fellas. This is
came out on the Xbox 360 that never got a physical release. So people are scrambling to get the physical. I always think of one of my all-time favorite Xbox 360 games, and that is Hydro Thunder Hurricane, which is a fantastic arcade racing game that came out on the Xbox 360 that never got a physical release here in the US. I maybe got one overseas, I don't know. It should have, because it's such a great game. Now, thankfully, Microsoft has made that backwards compatible with the Xbox One, so you can download and play it there, which is great. But who knows how long it's going to be there? I mean, it's one of my favorite.
Bro, you gotta know, okay, what the hell is he mentioning Microsoft in Google Stadia video? How many times are we going to see this? How many times are we going to see this? How many freaking times are we going to see this, y'all? Why why is Microsoft mentioned during these big YouTubers Stadia video? Why is that? Look through my reaction videos. Actually, I think I should I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a video showcasing how many times Microsoft has came out of this big YouTuber's mouth. If you don't think Microsoft is throwing money at people to talk negatively about Stadia, guys, okay.
Favorite games on that system. And yes, I can have it archived forever on one of my systems, but heaven forbid if the hard drive failed, I'd be screwed. So, you know, I'm just not there yet for the full digital streaming future, you know what I'm saying? And then finally we need to talk about...
But you did for videos though. You're not there for games, but dude, you talked about how much you stream Hulu, Netflix, HBO, and you're not there for the digital. You use 750 gigs a month streaming video content, and you're not there for the digital future. What the hell, bro?
About lag. Now, you probably noticed over the last year or so, a bunch of YouTubers like myself have been reviewing these clone consoles that have come out recently. And some of them are FPGA based, which have very little lag. Some of them are emulator based, which can introduce some lag. Plus you have wireless controllers, which have their own lag. You have video upscalers, which have lag. You have your HD television in its normal mode, which can introduce lag. And now you have Google Stadia streaming over the internet, which inherently would also have lag. And I just think that it's going to be too much. You know, I just think that there's so much discussion around all of those clone systems and how people hate lag that just adding that in there, you're going to have it no matter what. You know, it's going to depend on how far away from the servers you are and how good the routers and the switches are in your neighborhood and things like that. There's just too many variables there that I think that for most people it's...
Bro, why are you bashing something you haven't... I get your concern. I get it. Okay, we have concerns, bro, but try it before you make that decision. I like how he stated this is not for him. I get that. But so you're telling me, right, you're going to miss out on something that can be so revolutionary for the game industry because... Again, this goes back to all the other YouTubers because you guys are afraid that this service might not be successful. So the only reason you passing on the service is because you have doubts it'll be successful, but you haven't even tried it yet. So you're checking it off. So what happens if imagine if people wrote off Apple iPhones without the first generation without trying it. Right? And people did actually when Apple announced that they were again people like, oh, it's gonna fail. But look, all I'm saying, bro, don't bash something before you try it. That's simple.
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, lag is something that some people are sensitive to and others are not. Generally, slower games, most people don't notice it as much. But then if you get into like, you know, the NES style platformers that are pixel perfect, and yeah, lag can definitely ruin your day. And so it's going to be interesting to see. I'm very skeptical. I did see the Stadia running at E3 and it looked pretty good, but that was also because Google had their own routers and switches sitting right next to the bank of computers. So it was kind of like the perfect scenario. So I think in your home, it's going to be a much different situation. So
okay, Google at E3 is not the perfect scenario for that service to work. Actually, is probably the worst scenario for that service to work. Your home, because you have more control of, for instance, if you have a Google Wi-Fi, you can control where your bandwidth and speed is going to, so you have more control. So actually your home is a better environment to test out Stadia. The fact that Stadia has been working successfully at E3 and at Gamescom, one of the biggest video game Expos event, people had nothing but praises to say about the performance of Doom Eternal and the performance of Mortal Kombat 11. A lot of people are saying no lag, watch my recent video. But the fact that they were able to pull that off in a big event like that with Wi-Fi everywhere, people using, and connection, Bluetooth and all that stuff, not saying it's gonna... Anyway, you get my point. The fact that was successful there, I mean, I'm sure it's going to work at homes better than those conventions.
So anyways, guys, that's my thoughts on Google Stadia as of right now. I'm very skeptical about the whole situation, as I'm sure many of you are. You know, it's one of those scenarios where I feel like just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. It's going to be a proof of concept, I think, to kind of see, you know, is the market right for it? Do people want it? Are they willing to pay for it? Are they willing to put up with some of the, you know, the problems with it and some of the headaches of it? Me personally, I'm not willing to upgrade my internet service to support it. I mean, that would be stupid, you know, especially since also too, it's like, there's not really, as of today, there's not that many exclusives, if any. So I've already got a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One, you know. I'm just gonna buy a physical version of Cyberpunk 2020 or 2077, you know, and it's gonna run and look great, and it won't use any bandwidth. So I don't know, maybe the service is not for me, but I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. As always, I want to thank you for watching my...
This service is not for you. That's the end of this video. That's all I have to say, dude. And you know what? I can respect this guy. I'll be real. I respect him. Why I respect him? Because he states it. He's not saying like the other YouTubers, don't get Stadia, Stadia's trash. That's an insult, especially like when you haven't tried it. But he specifically said Google Stadia isn't for me, and here's why. I respect that. You are not telling your how many 704k subs not to get Stadia like some of the other big YouTubers do. So respect, for real, respect. But dude, your points, this video just sounded like something that was either brought up to you by some of your subscribers, or you just poking around in YouTube and you saw how great videos do that speak negatively about Stadia, and you thought, hey, why not me? That's what it feels like personally. I might be off, I might be wrong, but your points, this is very your arguments are very amateur, which has me really concerned. In a way, it's like, you know, the DuckTales thing, it's like you just copied that from Spawnwave. You know, your info about like Stadia not releasing this year but next year just shows you really don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, fellas, man, I'm just really sick of these videos, but they keep coming. And I am just gonna continue to try and prove these guys wrong. It's my goal here, man. That's why this channel was created. We need to shed positive light on Stadia. Alright, fellas, thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys, and I will catch you in the next video. Till next time, peace out.